Now, I want to make it very clear. I am not a delusional Paper X fan. They piss me off because I feel like they waste a lot of talent with some of the dumb ideas that they try. However, I've taken a look at Paper X. A ton of people have asked me for Paper X videos. So I took a look and I saw something. I think this is the perfect meta for Paper X to survive in the modern era. Here's what I mean. Paper X in their prime were running double duelists in 2023. And now I know what you're probably thinking, already running to the comments to type, actually, it was Jet Rays instead of taking a shower. And yes, it was just Jet Rays. However, Yoru almost is like a better agent for Paper X than the Jet. You can do aggressive pushes on defense, take aggressive positions, look at where something is right now, while being able to TP out if you don't like it. Same thing on attack. You can have him go in with Jing on the Rays, fighting, big firepower, teleporting in and getting those frags. Now don't get me wrong, it's going to be a hard journey, and I think you can already tell their roles are a bit of an issue as they have people playing different roles on almost every single map. However, for Paper X to survive right now, because they are not a modern team, I truly think this meta gives them the best chance, if they can adapt, to being a contender again. So let's go ahead and take a look at Paper X's win against DFM, what they're doing right, what they need to fix, and if they actually have the chance to be contenders. If you didn't know, my PC is pretty bad, but Hikikimori have reached out with an offer. See, they make the best merch in esports, and if 25 of you guys go ahead and use code LIONS for 20% off your order with all this amazing merchandise, then I'm going to get a free PC that makes me make better content for you guys. Go ahead, check it out. Got some of the merch myself. It's amazing. Remember, code LIONS for 20% off. Link in the description and pinned comment. I seriously could not recommend them more. This feels amazing. So go ahead and check them out right now. Now, DFM forced up after they lost Pistol. Why? I don't know. Pacific. But look at this explosive rubble take that Paper X use all of their utility, clear this area out, and now DFM are headed towards C. But this Yoru ult that's about to come out from something is going to get a ton of information because you know they're not A. Now, I would have really liked for someone like Jing to be inserted Rebel, Jing or Omen, preferably Forsaken, and you can tell he's kind of, am I going to go back A, am I not? I don't know. I really think that having Rebel control is a huge part of this map, but Paper X come back and take it anyway, so it doesn't end up actually mattering. DFM here just kind of sit and wait after they get Yoru ulted. I really would have liked to see a speed up on C, especially after that Omen paranoia, because you know that a couple players are invested here. Instead, they, for some reason, decide to go back and try and fight this area of the map. Now, don't get me wrong, it does give them numbers. I just think that if you get C a lot earlier than this, you end up winning the round because Devi, who has utility on, look, A, B, and C. He said, I'm playing solo Sentinel, but I will defend all of the bomb sites here. And they're headed towards C. Now, a huge burden, pretty much, is placed onto Devi here. If you can get one and get out, you can use that ult and then maybe secure the round. If you get two, though, it goes crazy. And as you can see, he does a great job to get two here. One thing that I kind of disagree with here is popping the ult right here. I would have saved it for post-plant, to be honest. As you see, Omen thinks that he can get out of the ult in that corner. He's mistaken. But I would have rather used it for post-plant. But again, wanted to give a huge shout out here to Devi. Gets the two, runs away, doesn't overheat. That enables them to win the round. Not just the getting two, but not overheating and making it a 1v1 if he was to die to DFM's Omen. Great job. And that's what you need out of Paper X, because these guys have the fragging ability. Each one of them have the ability to frag their way out of situations like you just saw there. The only question is, do they have kind of the mental ability to adapt to the meta so that they can be playing an agent that allows them to do that, right? On that Vice where, yeah, his Vice utility didn't do much there, right? The blind was mistimed. However, he had the util on other parts of the map, gets the frags, gets out, used that ult to secure the round. Now, don't get me wrong. A good portion of this was DFM not understanding when to pivot onto sites. Like, look here. A, explosive take, but Paper X already had the info that no one see, so they just run over A. I would have loved a pivot here. Loved it. Paper X are a team where you can very easily pull the rotation to a site and go somewhere else. But the good side of Paper X here is they realize, hey, we have Fatal. We can wait to contest this until we see a couple people on site. Then they pop ult and do a great job with the Omen Paranoid, the Breach Stun. Lots of stuff goes out, and it honestly just kind of destroys them. Jing kills Jinbong, which sounds like something you would call Jing after he overheats. And, I mean, to be honest, that's Paper X at their best. They will beat you, and if you can get your utility right, they will beat you dominantly, like you just saw there. However, DFM have a great read here. Paper X have been taking extremity control in almost every single round of these last couple rounds, and they do it again here. Jing gets breached on by his own breach, but I want you to look at this. He's going to die because Gwen TP's over there, knowing Jing's going to have to drop. He used his satchels to get there. I really wish that you have a Yoru in that spot, right? You're not going to be able to TP up into the smoke, but doing something like that where the Yoru can TP out, and yeah, he was there, but not as aggressive, I just feel like is the better thing to do. I know you want your explosive, you know, your fragger Jing to be able to go in and fight that, but as you saw there, I think Yoru is just better suited, right? Because Jing was destined to die. No matter what, Jing can't really get out of that spot. But great read by DFM. And then they show, hey, we can shoot our guns too. Forsaken wins a gunfight, making it a 3v2. And with Gwen in the spawn of Paper X, it looks like he had a great lurk, and then Patman just sets him down. But 1v2 from Patman, and then Neon is going to get the timing onto him here. Great round from DFM, reading into exactly what Paper X have been doing at the start of every single round. And if you continue to do that, I truly believe they could have won this game if Paper X continue to be that predictable, and then DFM do make those reads. And this is a round that gave me more hope for Paper X than any other. Look at what's happening on A. Something is going to aggressively push with the op, get the kill, and then go and take rebel control. Now, what's he able to do here that Jet Rays can't? If Jet Rays is taking rebel control, if one of them are, then they're going to die. Instead, something gets the info that they're here and teleports out. That's Paper X, right? That is exactly what Paper X want to do. They want to be able to be aggressive and then get out. And 5 seconds later, he's now opping this other line that forces DFM's now solo controller comp with Viper dead to use their last smoke. That is perfect for what Paper X want to do. Aggressive, util dump, get info, get kills within the first couple of seconds, and then reset and play a normal round. Now, don't get me wrong, you can't do that all the time, but that is what's going to be good for them. Now, Patman, only one salvo was used to try and force him off this angle, and he just had a slightly deeper commitment. I mean, he had to move his key like 2 seconds maybe, and then get to that kill, right? You need to use 2 salvos there if you're going to try and force him off that line completely. Instead, they used one over towards C to break some utility. But again, something, I mean, he's just like that, right? So 6-1 Paper X, this is great for them. Like, again, not a Paper X Glazer. I don't even like the team because they upset me with how much skill it looks like they waste. But this is what makes me think they could do something special here if they can continue to adapt to the meta and get their roles figured out. However, in true Paper X fashion, they then lose an eco the very next round. This team is beyond frustrating. Now, they do an aggressive rebel hit on A, but the issue is that DFM are going C. Now, another issue with Divide putting his wall B and kind of not using util on his own bomb site is he can't take those one-on-ones, right? If he just had that 1v1, then it's a 5v4, you haven't given up a rifle. Instead, now it's a 4v4, you've given up that rifle, the pit goes down, and this is very hard to retake into. Not only is the pit down, but the op from something with him also being low, this is a very difficult round to win, and they just kind of give it away like that. It would have gone, in my opinion, a lot better for Paper X if they had managed to win this round. I think that the economy would have snowballed even more because now they're knocked onto like a do or die buy round here, which could make you lose a couple rounds if you lose this upcoming one. However, they are able to win this round. And again, what do Paper X do? They use a good idea with the Yoru, which is, hey, we're going to get him inserted. He's going to get one, and then he TPs out. The issue is he doesn't TP out, so he does go 1-for-1, which obviously on defense, you never want to go 1-for-1, but especially on a 3-sided map like Lotus, you never want that to happen. However, you know, if he was able to TP out, it's a good concept to be able to put your Yoru in a position where he can get one and then get out. Just the trade comes through a bit too quick from the side of DFM. But again, this time what I do really like is Divide has some utility on his own site. He only has, you know, 1 pair of thorns, but you know, at least he has that. I really don't like the fact that you've invested Vice Wall and 2 players onto B. I just don't think that it makes too much sense. I get that you want to put the wall there. That's fine, right? Have Divide kind of fend for himself on site here, but then put Jing either on C or on A, right? Like, yes, Vice is a Sentinel, but with 1 piece of util, can you really argue that he's going to be able to hold down the site if all 4 players come there? Or they can get some lucky spam, and from here on out, it's just, hey, we shoot better than you. We will always shoot better than you, and no matter what, we could, like, take an ice pick to our brains, lobotomize ourselves, and would still shoot better than you. Paper X ended defense with 10 rounds, and that's great. but I do apologize for this. We need to talk about Jing. I didn't say anything when he bought a Sheriff on defense, but when you're buying a Sheriff on attack on raise, it's inexcusable. He's the last person right now in tree. He is sitting here in tree, not doing anything, dies when he swings, and he bought a Sheriff. Jing, in his prime, was a great player, but right now he's the cause of pretty much all of Paper X's role issues. I think he should have been replaced for Patman, and even if he wasn't, it is beyond stupid to me that we're allowing this in 2025, right? Don't get me wrong, good aimer, you're on race for a reason. Buy satchels, buy a boombot, buy something. I don't care if you buy Ghost boombot, but buy something to help your team out instead of just dying uselessly, please. Again, he is the role issue. Just Jing. If Jing got replaced by Patman, I truly think this team's role issues will be pretty much solved. But instead, we're buying no utility on attack because we still think it's 2023 and we'll just have something entry and get all the kills for us. Again, great player in his prime, but it's beyond upsetting to me that this is allowed because this is a huge issue for Paper X in my opinion. And popular or not, something needs to change about him soon because otherwise I don't think his team will go far or anywhere in playoffs. Only in Pacific would a team force up being down 1-0 and then not force up being down 11-2. So Paper X is going to win the next round, and then comes are Paper X going to have a monumental choke game? It's played pretty much every game, to be quite honest. It's a very fun game. I recommend watching it. Paper X thankfully decided that my video needs to be longer so I can get more ads, more revenue, so they're going to choke the bonus round. Now, how do they choke the bonus round? Like right here, you could probably put the blame onto Patman, but look at Art's death animation there. Just do a little slow-mo replay. That's probably the funniest death animation in all of Valorant. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. That was funny as hell. Paper X actually have a really good set play here with Yorwill. They're going to do the Yorwill Paranoia thing that you saw a bit from Carmine Core, I believe, in 2024.
They need more. They got to keep finding this. Martin's going hunting. He's after you, Alpha. Run, boy, run. The Paranoia!
If I'm not mistaken, where you would Yorwill, Paranoia off of it, get a frag, TP back, which works out for them here. Something able to get that frag. Now he's low, but you're going to pivot over towards A. However, they realize, hey, there's a player here in breach, so when they realize that Op is online as well, smoke it off and go, yeah, let's just go. We're going to go over, fake this bit of presence here, fake the pressure, and then go B. Regroup there where we already have some presence. Now, Jinbong does pop his pit here, and honestly, I thought Paper X would rotate off that. I think that pit was honestly popped to try and make them go towards A into that operator. However, doesn't happen. Gwen is able to TP past this Vice Wall here, but the issue is that Devi is making sure no one can do that. So he's back here, going to be aware of this, goes as something gets the kill on sight, and it's probably the beginning of the end here. Forsaken on 1 HP, 1 shield, but it doesn't matter. In the end, Paper X going to win their first game. Now, do I think that Paper X are going to suddenly start dominating Pacific? No. But if they can get their roles right for Split 2, I think they have a pretty decent shot at qualifying to champs. But we'll have to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you had a wonderful video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.